Man.
What are you talking about? It's a perfect looking TAC 22.
Makes it badass looking. It made me do a double take to see if it was your 22. I was like,
it is my 22. I actually switched out I really wanted the MOE version, but I didn't buy it originally. Alright, welcome to another session of Caution Under Fire. Today I am reviewing a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, the MOE model. So, let's start. This gun is actually fairly new to me. I bought it used, but the gentleman who sold it had never even shot a round off in it. I own another one that's the stock model with just the standard iron sights and whatnot. That gun is also really great, but I decided that I really like the MOE, and for the cost, you really can't beat what you're getting. The sights alone are run about $90 to $100, and they're included in this, and brand new, you're talking a difference of about $40. So right there, that almost makes it completely worth it. The gun has been safety checked, but we'll do it again real fast. This is the mag it comes with, 25 rounder, specifically made for this gun. Let's take a look at the chamber. Good to go. Part of the popularity with this gun is it does have a very similar layout to the AR-15. In fact, I'd say the actual button layout is identical to the AR-15 with your safety, your ping pong paddle that will lock your bolt open, and then of course, you know, charging handle. Now obviously your charging handle will not go back as far as it does on a AR-15, but you're talking about a 22 instead of a 223 5.56, so that's obviously going to be a difference. This gun I just outfitted with a BSA optic. It's a 3-color, red, green, or blue dot. I think that one ran me about $30-40. It wasn't too bad. And then I just threw on some funny, stupid stuff that I just thought would make it look cool. Mostly I got this gun so that I could use it as a training item, so that I can train for my AR-15 but not have the cost of that 223 5.56, and honestly that's kind of an ideal point for this gun. So I threw a flashlight on here, and this is just a cheap little flashlight that I got a multi-pack for at Costco. It cost me $20 for the entire pack, and I think there was like 12 flashlights in it. So I mean, honestly, it's really not that impressive, but it's got 9 LEDs, and it's bright, very, very short distance. It floods really fast out, so it fades away. I also just have a cheap $20 laser for the front sight. Like I said, a lot of this was just to add some of the weight, because this gun is polymer. The only parts of it that are not are obviously your hammer and internals, and your barrel and chamber, and of course your bolt. But I mean, everything else, the receivers are both polymer. Now a lot of people have an issue with that because polymer is not renowned for its strength, but honestly in a 22 this is just sufficient. In an AR-15 that might be a problem, like the Carbon 15 from Bushmaster. Not that I'm knocking on that gun for anybody who has it, and I apologize if it sounds like that, but I think with larger calibers, polymer just is not good enough. Whereas this gun, because it is such a lighter caliber, that's not a problem or an issue. Now, key points on this gun that the MOE comes with that's just absolutely outstanding for me. You will get your MOE grip. These are all Magpul original equipment. So it comes with this grip, the MOE stock, which I do like better than the standard ones. This gives you a slightly better cheek weld. It just feels a little bit more durable and better to me. It also has a single point sling in here. This is what, on my other one, I actually switched out all the furniture for flat dark earth. So it was technically an MOE in all the regards of this, but it did not have this neat little thing. It is ambidextrous, so left or right hand, you can go ahead and slap that in there. I'm obviously right-handed, so I usually leave it on that side. But that was a key point for me, because I like to be able to drop the gun when I need to and have it on a single point sling, and then I can get to my sidearm and practice for quick trails and whatnot. Also, it does come with the flip-up Magpul sights, front and rear. And those are really nice for backups. The only issue that I do have with my current setup, I can't really co-witness with this red dot and those sights. So if anything were to go wrong with my optic, I have to basically strip it off and then go to my iron sights. That's a downside. That's not about the gun, that's with my optic. The gun itself, this model, I went out shooting last weekend, so I mean, what, 5-6 days ago, and it performed flawlessly. I have found that you do need to use decent quality ammunition. This is not to say that you can't use the brick of 500, 550 that you find at Walmart's. In fact, that's generally what I use just because of the price point. But I do find that Federal and Winchester work the best. I'm not a fan of the Remington Bulk. It just doesn't seem to shoot as well as those other brands. Also, with these models, you do need to really focus on oiling down your bolt group. The reason being, it's just like a regular AR-15 where this doesn't use gas impingement, it just uses blowback. But because the 22 is such a dirty round, the gun does need to be fairly well lubricated or else it can jam up just like it can on an impingement system. Having said that, let me crack this open for you. It takes apart just like an AR-15. That's your bolt group. It has been pretty well oiled. I don't know if you can see the sheen on it or not. And of course just the charging handle. The gun itself fires like a champ, and it does function really, really well. The internals are very similar to that of an AR-15 with just your standard hammer here. The internals, the spring, the sear, all that, very, very much the same. So like I said, for training purposes, this is very ideal. Of the 22 tac rifles out there, I think this is probably one of my absolute favorites. The gentleman who sold it also put on this MOE foregrip, and it's honestly just perfect for me. I like having it really close. The magwell is just a little bit too close, but this sits perfect for my reach and my short, stubby arms. So I like having it in tight and easily controlled. The gun, brand new. Depending on where you go, you can expect about a $480 price range for the standard model. That's with a threaded barrel with just the standard A2 flash suppressor style, the flash suppressor on there. The MOE, depending on where you go, you can get for about $520. Like I said, it's about a $40 difference. So the regular is actually about $479.99, so about $480, and then this one runs $519.99, so $520. Like I said, I bought mine used, so I got a really great deal on it. I'm not going to tell you how much. But the gun itself, just absolutely great. Lightweight, fun to play with. I think that for the price point, if you want to get an AR-style rifle but don't really want to have that price, definitely look into this, because this is something that you can afford both for the rifle and the ammo, and it will give you just plenty of practice time and shooting that you can enjoy without any problems. Love it. Absolutely think everybody should own one, at least maybe something similar to this, if not this particular style. I have also heard from others that the SIG 522 is outstanding as well, and there are a few other variants out there, but for the price and for the reliability, the Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 is by far one of my favorites. The MOE model is just absolutely outstanding, and for the price, it's going to be hard to beat. The mags, depending on where you go, you can usually find these for around $20 each. It's a 25 round mag. They feed really, really well. I have found that when you're loading them, though, you do need to basically release this follower once in a while. So you'll pull it down, load around, pull it down, load around, pull it down, load around, so forth. But let go of it every now and then, and it'll actually straighten out the rounds. If you don't do it that way, there could be some feeding issues. That's just from personal experience. If you're wondering about the sling, this is just a Voodoo tactical single point sling. I've had it for quite a while now, and it actually works. It works really well. So I would definitely consider something like that if you're into the single point slings. I think that's all for now. If you do have any questions, comment, and I'll see if I can help you out. But for the price, a great gun, functions very well. You're definitely going to pay more than you would for a 1022, but for the tactical speaking, the gun feels a lot like an AR-15, and so you'll get that functionality and that practice, so you can actually get down your muscle memory. And that'll help so that if you do ever upgrade to an AR, you can switch back and forth between the two. Still get the training, the muscle memory, but not necessarily have that price point of, 25 to 50 cents a round, whereas this one's going to run you about 6 cents a round or less. So, M&P 1522, I think it's worth the money and definitely worth a try. Caution under fire, out.